Let's talk about the wall right here, which obviously the main feature is the fireplace and mantel. Tell us a little bit about this.
Right. Again, in putting together this is our formal dining room, it's also our casual dining room, and in Northeast Ohio we have far more days that are cooler than are warm, and so my husband really wanted to have a fireplace in here. It's like having the best seat in a restaurant when you've got a fireplace in your dining room.
That's true.
And
right.
So again, we carried a lot of the architectural details from the kitchen into here, the honed Carrara marble and the gently curved corbels, and we pulled this in. So really now we don't have artwork above it, but it's just simple. It gives us depth and dimension and drama.
One other thing that I want to point out that you made a suggestion when we drew up the plans for both sides of the rooms here, and we'll look at the other one in a moment, is that we had this paneling effect on the wall. Your idea was to make sure that the gap between each panel was about a dime thickness.
Right.
And actually it was a nice feature because it gives a nice shadow effect and makes it stand out. Is that something that just kind of came to you, or did you see that somewhere? How did that come out? Because that's really designed something I really can't really appreciate or understand or fully know. That's why someone like you has to come involved. So tell me about that a little bit.
Well, it's probably part of my trade as a designer. I pay attention to little details.
Right.
But I'm a Southern girl. I lived in Atlanta for a number of years. My parents are from West Virginia, and if I had my druthers, I would still live in the Southeast. But since I'm married and I live here, I'm trying to make our house kind of have a South Carolina cottage feel, coastal feel. And you see a lot of the planking in coastal homes in the Carolinas. And so having that, as opposed to drywall or a beautiful wainscoting type look, it gives it a casualness that we really wanted. That we don't take ourselves too seriously. This is not a big formal serious dining room, but it's a nice architectural detail.
And this wall had its challenges of its own. And again, showing the pictures of before, you'll see a big white box that was here before. That was a fireplace on the other side in the living room. Now we have two fireplaces back to back. So there were challenges as far as getting those in, but I think we've accomplished that pretty well in what we've done here. And again, I'll show more things as far as the room goes. In fact, let's take a quick look over here and see our little niche that we have over there. Over here at the little niche where we have a wine cooler down below and some other things, tell us what inspired this area.
Well, to visually balance it out, I had the pantry on the one side, needed to do something here. Originally, we thought we might put a television above the fireplace, but when we decided against that, it left this kind of open for a new purpose. Okay. And this is kind of my husband's area, if you will.
He has his domain, doesn't he?
Yes, this is kind of his little man cave.
Sure.
We've got the wine refrigerator, dual temperature, and then his humidor, and all of the things that go with it, and a place for his drinks and all of the things that go with it, the glasses and all the accoutrements. So that's what this is. And again, it really is nice for very functional when you're serving dinner to have this almost as a sideboard where we can have additional dishes.
You can bring hot plates place them right on top of the Carrara.
Absolutely, we can. And even when we're doing a party, if we've got crock pot, we've got the electrical there, we can plug that in to keep things warm.
And again, we carried that theme with the arch windows, frosted glass, everything sort of repeats itself.
Exactly, even the small details like the glass knobs, which we also have in the kitchen.
That's true too.
Carrying that through so that they seem seamless. No one would ever think in looking at this that it used to be a porch.
That's true. All right, let's take one more view around the room. We'll kind of take a view of the windows that we put in, because I think that's also important too in the type of trim we worked into that as well. Okay, again, working with our architect on this project, we designed a lot of things for this to do it structurally sound. Because we were working off an existing deck, there were other things that we had to take in consideration for making sure it was structurally sound underneath, shoring up the posts and support beams underneath, and basically enclosing a box so that way we can bring heat and air within this space and keep that all insulated and in a good comfort zone. So there are a lot of things we did that you can't see right here underneath to make this an all-season room, if you will.
Right.
Tell us your thoughts on the windows, why you decided to go with the transoms and such.
Right. Well, I knew I was going to be losing some of the light.
Right.
If you see through the befores, that this is almost all solid wall of windows. But in wanting to have a more century look to the house, we're trying to add character with everything we do. We don't want it to look brand new. So the trim that we did with the transoms, these particular windows, you will see this trim in century homes. You see transoms in homes that have been built from the start of America. And so bringing that in as a small architectural detail really helps to give this some great character. And even though this used to be a porch and it's no longer a porch per se,
right,
it really still has a porch-like feeling when all the windows are open and you can hear, you know, the birds and things outside.
I think you're right. Because of the windows and being able to open them all up, you can open up this door too because you have a screen. Because the deck is wrapped around with the railings, you do have that sense. And of course, the nice wooded property that you have here, it does feel like a cottage. It feels like you're in a cottage and you're able to use this room. Let's stop right here and take a couple notes. Let's talk about the floor and also the ceiling too, because I think that kind of ties in with everything we're doing here as well.